Yes, can you hear me now, Norman?
Speak now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
Are you plugged
Can you
in?
hear me now?
this is not on,
Are you plugged in?
but I think I can hear you, you know.
I'll speak
Are
louder.
you plugged in, Norman?
Huh?
Is your headset plugged in?
Oh, it is recording. Okay, we are recording, just FYI. Doesn't say so here, but,
It appears to be.
okay, good evening. This is the Rutland Town Planning Commission, and it's October 23rd of 2025. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm not sure if there's anyone joining online. If there is, could you speak up and any planning commission members online? Typically, he has both of those monitors on and the people joining are over there. But we'll go with what we've got here. Again, thank you. Good evening. Approval of the agenda is the first item.
Move to approve the agenda. Second.
Okay, there were a couple things that I forgot. In new business, I'd like to add the initial discussion about the next year's budget, the 2026-27 budget. New business. And in old business, there has been a development I'd like to explain to everyone about the municipal plan, MPG municipal planning grant. Maybe even do that before the draft subdivision bylaw. And the budget can be after the pocket park. So would the maker of the motion accept those changes?
I accept those amended items for the agenda.
Second to the amended agenda.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Okay, I think we can skip over public comment. Carol and Francis in the waiting room. Oh. Carol, can you hear us? They're not muted.
Is it connected?
Oh, there we go. Hopefully you can hear us now, Carol and Francis. Okay, so we'll skip over public comment and move down to new business and the boundary line adjustment on McKinley Avenue with the Baird Levins parcels. So when we met last, we talked about the acreage total discrepancy between the letter submitted and what was shown on the plat. And there was a motion to withhold approval of the adjustment contingent on a dialogue or text box being added to the plat that specifies how the parcels will be configured and the acreage size to what will be labeled as plot 1A. Okay, Jim and Mark, it's over to you to address those two items.
Thank you. We have, I've been over to Bill's office after the last meeting and I reviewed the survey that had been marked up. And following the requested additions that was wanted by the board last time. A new survey has been created. And so I believe that Mark Porcel has brought copies to you that are in front of you. You'll see that there is a box created on this survey that shows the respective acreages of the parcels. That piece that will be divided is plot number 2. And we tried to follow as closely as we could that those markings on the prior survey. 7.792 acres divided in 2 by that line. 2.672 is getting added to the 13.4 acre parcel of Francis Levins. The acreage was missing from the previous survey. The board wanted that added to the Francis Levins parcel of 13.4. Then on the piece that is going to get added to 13.4, the acreage is listed there as well. That is the parcel that has the hash marks that are sideways, kind of left to right, at 2.672. That leaves the parcel to the left of, west of that, 2A at 5.12. So in the end, if the boundary line adjustment is approved as we request, the Francis Levins piece will gain acreage to go from 13.4, as mentioned in this box, to 16.072. And what will be left of the other parcel will be 5.12. And that's parcel 2A. The rest of that parcel will be added to that Francis Levins parcel. So I think the
So-
changes that the board has requested have been made. And we'd ask for a motion to approve that boundary line adjustment as indicated on the survey. And
Right, so our request for total acreage for 1A is now new plot 1 in that text box.
plot number 1
Parcel 1?
New,
was 13.4, and it will, with the boundary line adjustment, become 16.072.
okay. We're-
Plot 1 and parcel 1 are synonymous, is that correct?
Parcel is on the survey map, it says parcel 1. On the notes that the board had left, there were sometimes the word plot was used and sometimes the word parcel was used.
Yep.
We think that this is pretty clearly marked
Right.
as to.
I just was just clarifying that parcel and plot meant the same thing. Because the map shows parcels, the text box shows plots. As long as they're the same.
Okay,
But the one thing that I hate to be a stickler, but there was a note that the letter and plat must agree in all aspects, including references to the 2008 plat filings. And the letter and this do not follow that. Is that correct, Barbara? What did you just tell me?
well,
Is it
it's,
issue?
it's not, it's just a few percentages of an acre that it's
That's
off.
the same issue that I raised last time that they didn't correct.
So the standard survey from 2008 has that parcel 2 that's which is 2A and 2B on this survey. He drew it out to hundredths of an acre,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That was 7.792. So what we have done is said that that parcel is divided into two, with one being 5.12 left. And if you subtract 5.12 from that 7.792, you come up with 2.672. And we've added that to the 13.4 to become the 16.072.
okay.
Practicality, when you have a boundary line used by a river is the boundary line, you don't go to three places on your acreage. It's just isn't done. This isn't man path.
Okay. Okay,
So, Barbara, can I just see the letter?
What's the total acres now? What's the total? 16 point. What is the difference we're looking at? How much? 16.
Like,
The difference is 2/10, two
100.
100ths of,
yeah,
of, an acre, I guess. So,
All
Not
the
approved,
plots
but-
not line up, Dana.
the math doesn't line up.
No, the plots. I mean, does everything line up as far as if there's no discrepancy between the parcels designation and the lot and the acreage is approximately right, considering the fact it's a stream and it could change tomorrow. Equivalent over 1/10 of an acre, it doesn't really matter. What matters is
100, yeah.
100.
No, it's not 1,000. You'd have to go to the third decimal
the
place for
size
the
of this
1,000.
room.
We do have three decimals.
Has
Yeah.
3 decimal places.
But the problem is in the second decimal place, not the third. So the problem's in the 100th.
okay,
So, I mean, I don't want to quibble over it, but it's still, the issue that I raised before was still not addressed. So I know how old.
okay, duly
That's-
noted,
Yep.
duly noted. I think we can proceed and look at the plat as it is now, and ask the questions that I asked a few weeks ago mistakenly. But does the plat contain these items? Proposed changes to boundary lines. There's a no, speak up. Name and address of professional preparer. Numerical and graphic scale of plan, date and north arrow. Existing features and facilities, including roads, public utilities, utility easements, wooded areas, structures, water courses, ledge, wet areas, excessively steep slopes and rights of way, and a location map. Got all those things. Is there a motion to approve this adjustment?
Motion to,
Go ahead.
You
Motion
should
to
do the
approve.
motion in the second before the discussion, Barbara, just for protocol purposes.
Well, yeah. Is there a second?
Second.
Howard?
I see this as a very, very busy map. And I'm just wondering if there's something that would help to clarify it a little bit. Is some of the things that I'm seeing, first of all, we've got the big parcel is what, 16 plus acres? It would, the entire thing that we're talking about here, that is going to end up as one parcel. What is that? The 16, it's right there. now.
16.072.
Yeah, 16. Would it make sense if the boundary line around the entire parcels that are being combined together was a heavier line so that it stood out? And all this cross hatching that's on there, to me, if I can understand the cross hatching to show what's being merged, but all the rest of the cross hatching if that were removed, to me, would help clarify things up. If you took the big cross hatching up here out, leave the cross hatching here, and maybe put a heavier boundary line around to make it jump out as, I'd do a lot of looking to see what following numbers around here. To me, it might clarify a little bit. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
Howard, that cross hatching was put on the plan at your request.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That was on there to start with, and from day one, I personally think that I never felt that should be on there anyway, personally myself. I felt that if the main part of the parcel didn't have cross hatching on it, but the other piece that you're merging on is cross hatched, I think it would show what's going together here, and that's only my opinion. If there was a heavier boundary line going around the outside of the total parcel is what it's going to be.
Okay, Mark?
I think the drawing is pretty clear. I mean, the mark is written in that parcel that is being moved. The boundary line to Levins to be moved, it describes that line is the new boundary line in English. So I think, we're talking about aesthetics of what we want it to look like. There's also, if someone does a title search, there's going to be a legal description of this boundary line that's going to follow the meets and bounds of the survey. So I guess I would argue that the survey is pretty clear that, and especially with the box that's been newly put at the side, it describes what has happened, that you've added parcel 2B to parcel 1, and the acreage has gone from 13.4 to 16.072. I don't think it could be much clearer.
Well, I feel that it would, but personally, I feel it would help clarify it more if the entire boundary all the way around was a heavier line. So that would be an eye-catching thing. And I don't really think you need all that cross-hatching in, the cross-hatching is a little
Howard,
busy.
you requested that. That cross hatching is on at your request.
Well, as I look at it now, that's my personal feeling. That's what I feel. I feel it would help clarify it. Maybe I'm the only one here that sees it that way, but.
Any other discussion or any reaction to what Howard is requesting?
I agree with Howard that it could be clearer if it was done that way, but I also think that given the information that was added to it, it can be what's going on can be interpreted as a result of combination of things.
No, I don't see any ambiguity here. I mean, really, in the end, right? Anyone that's at all familiar with this, when you read the dialogue box and everything, there isn't any question in my mind exactly what's going on here. So that's why I made the motion to approve it.
Norm?
I think I certainly understand Howard's, and Howard's comments, and I've had a hard time figuring it out, in part because of the interchange between plot and parcel and no explanation about it. But having said that, Jim is correct. Anybody who's doing a title search, and I've done more title searches than I would like before I got somebody that was better and did it. That's going to tell the tale. And it'll make reference to the map, but the description is what controls for future purposes. And if somebody comes up with a problem, we can address it down the line. I understand where Howard's coming from, but I think the description will take care of any reservations that people have.
Okay.
It may take them a while to figure it out.
My only request would be that a new letter be submitted that actually makes the correction on here because the math is wrong on the letter, not on the plat. If the letter is resubmitted with the math at 16.072, I'm happy. Because that's what is actually shown on the plat.
Okay,
Right.
The thing is, we have a
Last
motion.
Line of that paragraph. You're pointing to Dana 16.092.
It's not 092, it's 072. 072 is what's on the in the box, and it's what the math adds up to on the plat when you
Right.
take the plots.
Right, so I was saying change the letter.
I didn't hear you say that, but if I had heard that, I would have said no problem.
Oh,
If you change the letter
Yeah.
and make the math add up to what's on here, because that's what the request was that we
Right.
made, I don't have a problem.
right,
Okay.
right.
okay, I'm gonna call the question for the motion that's on the floor, which is to accept things as they are.
I would like to make a friendly amendment to the motion on the floor. Prior to the vote.
Is the maker of the motion acceptable to,
Yeah, if we can get it done, yes.
and the
My
person,
friendly motion would be, the friendly amendment would be that the motion is to accept this under the original terms, which was that the letter and the plat agree by changing the math on the last acreage of 16.092 to make it 16.072, corresponding with the plat itself, which is accurate.
All right, I'll amend my motion as Dana stated it.
Thank you.
okay, who seconded it?
Dana seconded it, didn't
Did I second my own, did I second it?
I don't know who seconded it.
Andy seconded.
No, I
And
made the
you
motion.
He made the motion.
Sherman, you seconded the motion.
I think you did, Sherman, yeah.
It wasn't me.
No, it was Sherman, I
I
believe.
will accept that.
Okay,
I will second it.
Good,
whether
thank
I
you.
did
Second
before or
the
not.
amendment.
Okay,
Okay.
now I'll call the question. Will we accept this bylaw, boundary line adjustment with the correction to the letter? To rectify all of the acreages? Yes,
Yeah.
aye,
Aye.
My motion
Aye.
was to change 16.092 to 072. It wasn't to change
okay,
anything else,
thanks
because
for the
everything else is accurate.
clarification. Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
opposed?
I vote in favor
Okay,
of the motion.
so, phew. 180 days to get the Mylar here.
Mylar is good, not the way it was. I'll say that.
It's
yep,
approved.
yes.
Thank you for your patience in working through this.
Sorry.
Thank you for your patience through this
Thank you, folks.
process,
Thank you.
both of you.
All right.
Okay,
While we're on the subject,
yes.
can I? Okay. Considering the amount of time
Good night, folks.
that we've spent on these lot line adjustments. And I figure I calculated up and it comes out to around, we've spent at least 30 man hours on this, on small things. We've got to do some housekeeping and have a letter so that these folks come in, they know what we want.
I think part of
Good point.
the issue from the beginning was that we didn't have good information as to what this was intended to be. Some of the sketches that were handed in, didn't fit anything. I mean, from day one, we had trouble with this.
Exactly.
That's
But
where,
with the website, with the town having the website, there's no reason that we can't put together a letter that specifies how we want these things laid out, that we want the parcels labeled in a certain way. And what you make a reference to, a heavier line around the final, the changed line. And to make sure that, and mainly that the parcel numberings are consistent and correct.
Right.
I
I
mean,
mean,
to the point-
the letter
And
that's
the
submitted,
terminology.
Right.
any communication that's submitted actually reflects what appears on the,
Yes,
on the plot. I mean, I'm.
Terminology included.
Yeah, terminology included.
Yeah, and we're still thinking about, we can put this in with the other subdivision bylaw
Right.
stipulations.
That's what we discussed last time, right?
Not many towns do it that way, but there must be a way. So,
To include boundary line adjustments in the bylaws.
yeah, not just a
Yeah.
definition of it.
Right.
yeah, because everybody that comes in comes up with a new scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we have to figure out what the scheme is. And we should be able to look at any one of these things and have this thing done in 10 minutes.
exactly.
Yes.
So,
And we will have a description of it, that we'll find things that we have to add as we go along.
Right.
It's different situations require different things.
The problem, and the reason I was being so insistent was this was the problem that originated in January, for which I made a contingent motion that was still not respected 3 times later. So,
Well,
I mean, I
I
don't know how you
understand.
can be more clear about what your expectations are and have it not be carried through. That's the only reason that I was a stickler. And
This is the whole deal though, right?
Right.
there.
Yeah.
plus or minus, right.
Yes, and it really just should have said on there, plus or minus
Sure.
the tiniest bit. I mean,
But if they're gonna do the math and they're gonna put the math on here, then the math should be the same on the letter. I mean, it would have taken them
yes,
2
Okay.
minutes to print a new
Let's move on.
letter.
okay.
So, anyone remember the pocket park?
Now I
Yeah.
have forgotten about it.
Remember that place?
So we've got the land, the half acre there. And we got it from GMP. But in the process of getting it, GMP was doing its relicensing with FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And the FERC put some stipulations on the recreational uses that GMP laid out. It said if we're going to be conveying this land to the town of Rutland for recreational purposes, and FERC came back and said, well, we want you to do a couple of things in order to get your license. It's all good, though. It's all good. There is a deadline at the end, I think, of December of this year that GMP was supposed to meet, but they're probably going to have to ask for an extension. And the deadline was for putting a kiosk that GMP pays for up, and to get the content of that kiosk underway with all of the tribes in Vermont. Along those lines, we've talked about being part of that content building. And I still think, we probably would want to play that role. So that's fine. GMP has done these kiosks before in other parts of the state, other lands that they own. And they were going to give us, Mary Ashcroft and I went to a meeting with them, and they were going to give us an example from Bolton and give us some contacts with the tribes. They haven't yet, but that should be forthcoming. So the kiosk will be paid for, and we'll work, maybe not exclusively the planning commission, but maybe the rec department and the rec committee as well of the select board on that content. And after that, there's going to be a recreation monitoring program for FERC after it's installed, and that will involve surveys for the most part, with the town collaborating with GMP.
Recreation monitoring program, did you say?
Yeah, it's federal bureaucratic kind of language. Yeah, I think it means just what are you doing for recreational facilities, and maybe reaching out, and is this what the public wants? Are there some other things the public wants? I think details are a little bit sketchy. Mary had some concerns about, there's at least one sign that GMP has put up on the parcel about, it's a safety sign about high water dangers. That was, and they actually put it in, not the land that was conveyed, but the right of way we always had. They put it right there. They said it was a mistake. Some of the select board said they didn't mind it being there anyway, as a warning right now, so that may stay. We talked a little bit about security at the park, and the plant operator there on the other side of the river does spot checks. The couple of the GMP people say they've had good luck with game cameras being put in places like this. And then there was some discussion about maybe it could be hooked into the fire station somehow. So it would be, I wasn't quite clear. I was hoping for Bill to fill me in on that one, how that would happen, but they thought they could get the signal to the fire station, could be downloaded there and viewed and all that kind of stuff. You know, maybe
For
someone
what purpose?
for security. Um,
So, but, I understand the purpose of the game cameras, but, so they'd be activated, and I mean, they hold a certain amount of data, and that would be purged every so often and then updated. If no reports have been made during that time, then, okay.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
I understand.
And so the select board the other night talked about getting money in the current budget to provide maybe more than the kiosk, maybe get the trail built, maybe get the overlook built, maybe get some picnic tables set up. And there is a possibility, the talk from the select board is to have the park open with whatever amenities it has at the point during or at Memorial Day weekend of 2026.
That's beginning of June.
Yeah.
But you confused me in one thing. I understood first that the kiosk was going to be built by GMP.
It's going to be paid for by GMP and put up by GMP. And they would like some input, but not the only input on the content.
But then I thought you said that the town was paying for it in the budget when you were just.
They're paying for other things other
You said
than
I thought you said kiosk. Maybe I'm wrong. But
GMP will pay for the kiosk.
and the town will not pay for it at all.
The town will not have to.
Okay, thank you.
That'll be the picnic tables and
And yeah,
Anything
the
else?
trail, they were
Trail,
talking about
yeah.
asphalt
design.
pile, calcium chloride on the trail.
On the trail,
and, so I think we'll have some pretty concentrated work to do. Maybe we'll wait and start it in January on the content. Maybe getting some historians in, talking to the tribes. And that kind of stuff, and work through what we want on the two sides of the signage we're getting.
That's the signage we would be paying for. That's not
No,
related to.
this is, we're only talking
This is the
about a
kiosk.
kiosk for signage. I'm just using the general term signage for this specific kiosk.
That wasn't clear.
Okay.
It's okay.
What else wasn't clear?
No, nothing. You were talking about signs, you were talking about a variety of other things. I wrote down that the select board talked about more money in the budget for additional improvements besides the kiosk. So I had the kiosk set aside. When we were talking about other things, I said picnic tables, you said the trail, and then you started to talk about signage, which I did not have related to the kiosk. I had it related to the trails and other things, which was not a kiosk related thing. That's the only reason that I asked about the signage. Sorry for
Okay,
being confused,
yeah,
but it
it's
wasn't
fine.
clear that it was on the.
It's
kiosk.
fine. Two different, I did bring up two different types of signage. The one that GMP put in, the danger stuff, that may or may not stay. I haven't seen it yet. I've been meaning to go down there. I guess it's pretty obvious. And the message is probably pretty good. And then the only other discussion of signage right now is what GMP will pay for, which is the kiosk. But then they're gonna work with us on what goes on that kiosk. Norm?
How do we get a hold of the tribes? I mean, is there one council or whatever that we contact? or-
Probably not. And I asked during the meeting for their, I mean, they had to get in touch with all of them to do their license, their relicense. And
Oh,
so I
so
asked
there's
for
a,
that
there's a
list.
list, okay.
Yeah. And they have it, yeah.
But GMP is gonna take that responsibility or no? We have to take that. responsibility.
No, they want to be part of the content building,
Who does?
GMP.
Okay.
And I think it's safe to say the town will have the final say on what goes on there.
I'm talking about the list of the tribes. GMP will be taking care of that aspect of it. We don't have to reach out to anybody. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, we do. They will give us a list of contacts that they have used in the recent past.
Okay.
They will say, here are the people you need to talk to. And then we need to talk to them.
And what are they going to tell us, pray tell?
Well, there was one, yeah, and and like the Western Abenaki, they really weren't down here. I mean, they're the tribe that's, very prominent in the northern part of the state and into Canada. And then the Eastern Abenaki were Maine and New Hampshire. There was one tribe, the Stockbridge Munsee, that actually spent time here. They wanted to know whenever the soil was being disturbed. They just wanted to be present. So it's things like that.
This is not gonna
It's
be
gonna-
done by,
Yeah.
by May.
Well, if we don't
No way.
disturb the soil.
Call me a liar when the prediction doesn't come through, and you can pay me
Well,
3 times my
It's too
salary.
obvious. You can't have that.
That's
I
the
mean,
goal.
we got-
Goals are not always met, but that's the
It really
goal.
needs to be done then. You put some picnic tables out and you cut some brush.
Well, is there any?
That's
and-
the other part. The highway departments and the rec department are working on the invasives and what else has to go, what needs to be cleared out. And that's gonna start, they're not gonna start until April,
That's
but
right.
Well,
So is there any permitting that has to be done?
I don't think so.
overall?
Oh, well, maybe, when we go to the river's edge and try to put a boat launch right up into the water or something like that. But right now, I
We're
don't.
not talking about that though, as part of
No.
this.
You didn't, not now, no. No, we're just talking about the southern end.
Yeah.
And maybe adding a few more parking spaces if,
And building a trail. We're gonna build a trail that,
what the select board has in mind right now is a trail from the parking lot, a straight one, to an overlook if possible. It pretty much follows the right of way, the old Route 4 right of way.
Hmm.
So
Just
it's
give it that.
flat. It's already has a road on it, so it won't be that hard to put a trail in there. Just
Yeah.
clean it up a little bit.
You're not disturbing any soils, are you? You wouldn't be. Why
not-
would you be?
I don't think so, but we'll have to figure out what the definition of that is.
I think it's pretty easy to define. You don't take a shovel to it.
Yeah,
It hasn't been disturbed.
yeah. And what what they probably mean is like digging deeper and maybe disturbing
Artifacts. yeah.
artifacts, things that might be buried. Yeah,
Or potential graves.
potentially. Yeah, so some movement on that. I'm not quite sure why GMP waited until October to say that they probably wouldn't meet that they had to get this done by December. Because we've lost the field season for sure. But they've got projects all over the state that they do recreation.
So
for.
this time what we're talking about, to me, sounds like two things. One is the kiosk. I know it's related, but it sounds like it's independent of everything else that has to be done physically in accomplishing it. You could do the kiosk without the trail, and you can do the trail without the
Well, I would
kiosk.
pair it with contacting and speaking with all of the tribes. So those are have equal importance to
Well-
GMP.
Well, speaking with the tribes is just related to the kiosk and that one and the signage for the kiosk.
Except for
Hopefully.
one tribe that doesn't want any soil.
Hopefully,
Okay, it just sounds almost like
theoretically, that
two
is,
things.
yeah.
Barbara, is the construction of the kiosk a completely separate issue than the content of the
Question, is it?
materials?
I say that's a good.
No, they're one and the same. The construction of the kiosk, GMP will put a kiosk in for us.
And they'll pay for the educational materials that go into it.
I don't know if we've figured out that much detail. They probably would. They probably would.
I was calling educational materials, which was otherwise used a different term, so that I could be clear about what I was talking about. So it's the information that will be on the kiosk that tells about the historic nature and
Right.
cultural heritage. Yeah.
EMP is responsible for building the kiosk
Or having it built.
or have, yeah.
Yeah, they usually use, and they've been using Vermont companies to make
Yeah,
these.
but ultimately, that's their task to get it built.
Right.
We control what goes on it, is that correct? To the extent that it meets everybody, all the requirements.
Right.
With
Yeah, they
GMP's
didn't
input.
mention that FERC had any say, that their relicense had any say in the content, just that GMP is involved in that process. Not that you have to include, the history of it can only be about the history of GMP in that area. No.
GMP just wants a seat at the table as we're planning what we want to be displayed on the kiosk.
Who is going to design what is put up on the kiosk? I've seen a lot of kiosks and
Right, right. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. That is something that will have to be worked out with the select board, its recreation committee, our recreation department, and us. So we're not, we just found out about this last Friday. Oh. Good stuff, right? Okay, let's
So in January, are we going to attempt to identify what the first step will be for us? I mean,
yeah, or maybe,
I'm
yeah, I
trying
mean,
to think, we go from here on this.
right. So we need to get the bylaw done. And as soon as we get that done, we'll jump into this. And I'm just predicting that, maybe January would be a good time. I was talking to Bill and he was making a suggestion about our schedule of meetings. That no one can remember when 3 weeks is or when the next meeting is.
It's an odd, that didn't mean it to be a pun,
And
but
then
it's an odd.
21 days added to whatever date you're on.
And I don't know if this helps what we're talking about now, getting our work done, but he was suggesting maybe once a month and pick a day of the month. Like not the first Tuesday, but like the first Thursday, second Thursday, something like that. And we just go once a month.
I think we have too much work to
Let's think about that one.
do.
Okay,
21, it's math. 21 plus whatever date you're on.
Well,
The, we won't be making any real decisions about the budget. Hopefully I gave you the right.
General.
In pink highlight, it's not real bright, but pink highlight is our budget. So
It's the whole budget, Barbara, that you just gave?
Nope,
Well,
that's,
are these all part of one set? I don't know if they hand anything over. Right.
they're
one
individual
page?
copies.
Individual
One,
copies, okay.
So that's
Is there anything, Andy? What do you know?
Oh, I've got a multi-page
this is
thing
from
here.
somebody like in the select. board.
Yeah, this is
That
not,
must be,
that's,
this is,
that's a recreation budget.
this is what.
oh, okay, it should,
Thank you.
it should start with 035201.
We've got it. It's all straightened out now.
Okay,
It's, the three gentlemen to my left had some other document.
sorry about that.
No, I don't think it came from you.
Okay, 035201 Town Hall Electricity, that's
Yep.
what we're starting. Okay.
Yeah, but the planning commission has 3 items on
Mm-hmm.
that page and 3 on the next page. And so our budget currently is 14,550. I'm not sure we can make many decisions yet about this. I don't know what the cost of living is going to be for town employees, which includes the commission, the planning commission salary. So that may need to go up. We don't have to make any decisions about this tonight. The select board is just starting the process of the new budget. But as you can see here, the second line item, the regional commission dues, they quadrupled. But that was put into the budget, so that's okay. It's the next line that I'm not sure what we should put in yet, but not knowing what the cost of living increase is gonna be. Yeah, Norm.
If in fact we go to once a month meetings, then this should be sufficient.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
We're
point.
not meeting a lot in between.
Right. Not backfilling.
Like the subdivision regulations. It's
So this is more for your information right now. I think it's too early, too premature to come up with any numbers yet. But Norm brings up a good point. If we go monthly, maybe that has an impact. But okay,
So right now it's a level funded budget.
right now it's a level funded budget.
24, 25 to 25, 26. The lines may change, but the funding is the same.
Some's different. Legal is different.
Um, except for the planning commission's salary, which
a little
went
hard
up
to-
a little bit. And the
3 and 4 is 7 and 4 is 11. 11,550. And then you take 3,000 and take 11,550 and 3,000 and you get 14,550. And that's exactly what we have in 2025, 26, 2024, 25. So the amount of money in the budget in all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines is exactly the same. They're spread out differently, but the total is the same.
Well,
For what
that was
that's
good.
worth.
That was good planning.
No, I don't, you've got to explain that to me.
Okay. I'm taking 3,000, 4,000
Yeah.
and
but-
4,550.
but-
That's a total of 11,550. When I flip it over to the backside and look at 25, 26, we have $3,000 more that are highlighted. A $500 item, a $2,000 item,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and a 500,
Okay.
so that's 3,000. So if you add 3,000 to 11,550, you get 14,550, right? And that's exactly the same amount that is budgeted in 2024, 25 with 2,000, 2,000 and 4,409. Oops.
yeah, I was gonna say. it can't
Sorry,
be-
I
it can't be
made,
right.
I made the mistake because I don't have my glasses on of thinking that that was 4,000. So I had 8,000 there.
There's
And,
an increase of legal of 1,000. There's
oh,
an
yeah,
increase
I
in
don't know what I
regional
did
of
then.
2,000.
I apologize. I retract that.
It is true that we try to, we try to level fund as much as we can. But we had a lot of legal expenses in the last fiscal year, or the 2024-25, that we added to the 25-26 budget there, and then the regional commission dues are not of, that's decided elsewhere, but it is in there. It's accommodated there, and then there's salaries, like I said, with the cost of living, we don't,
2024-25 is 11,409.
that rings a bell.
I must have done something and carried the wrong numbers over from the back. My apologies.
Yeah,
And the total for actual is 10,749. So we were
yeah.
under budget by about $700.
And most of it was, well, the regional commission dues and legal. Okay, any more discussion on that?
The Regional Planning Commission hire a bunch more people. Why would it need to quadruple?
This is-
They'll make more money now. That's what it is.
I mean, seriously,
They started
Quadruple's a big
charging
number.
$1 per person who lives in each town.
They-
And so now there's an assessment. per
There
person
was a flat rate.
for all towns.
The $1,000, what they charged all 27 towns, but they were doing more for larger towns in general. So they decided to go per capita.
and that just happened to be quadrupling.
It goes, yeah, it goes by population, the 2020 population, and that's exactly what that.
Think of what it did for Rutland.
It's not 4,000 per se, it's 3,924, and that's how many people we have. For the census. Rounded up to 4,000.
But previously we paid 1,000, we budgeted 2. And now we're gonna be budgeting 4,000 for the
For the, for,
3,000.
yeah. And then the next, yeah. It probably won't go up again for a
So
while.
other towns would have went down.
They'd have to have fewer than 1,000.
Just a minute, Norm.
I looked at the list that Barbara had earlier.
I guess, well, this doesn't show me that. I guess it is, I guess some maybe did. Really small.
At Mount Tabor, somebody has 250
Yeah.
people, so they're only paying $250. That was the one that jumped out at me. Right.
Yeah. Norm, sorry.
2 questions. Do we have any input into these numbers or just?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
100%.
100%.
I just wonder if the legal fees are realistic at $3,000. I know that going over this with the subdivision regulations, it occurred to me that as hard as we've worked and as much time as we put in, and as much time Kevin put in to direct us in what we had to do, it might be worthwhile after we finish her to have him look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And if so, that's amazing. I was surprised at how small his fee was. So I'm not complaining about it. If it hasn't been anticipated, then maybe it's something we ought to think about.
So are you suggesting that would the number be higher?
Yes.
But we're gonna have the same thing. We've done this, and I've voiced my complaints about this before. We're gonna have the same thing. There's some people who don't take their salary from the planning commission,
Yeah.
and that's always low.
Mhm.
So I don't think we need to add a bunch of money to legal so we can throw a bunch of crap in an attorney. Sorry. But it doesn't need to happen. It can be right where it's at. If we go over budget, we'll make it up in the salary that isn't paid. That's just an opinion. I get a bug across about that every time. We don't need to drive that number through the roof in anticipation of calling an attorney every time we have a problem.
And
If
that's
it's there,
why,
you
Joe,
use it, right? If
What's
it's-
that?
If it's there, you want to use it.
That's my opinion. If it's there, it'll be easy to say, let's get Kevin to give us an opinion. I don't think we need If we go over like we did last time, we'll cover it for other things that are less.
Right,
Well-
and that's why I did the calculation. I mean, last year we had a budget of 11,409, and we're only 10,749 was charged.
Still
against it.
under, our
Still under.
actual was low. So I think we're
And
good,
that
even
was-
with a $6,400.
That was the big legal year.
Well, with a $3,000 increase on the planning commission, we should budget for that, because we know that cost is.
Right, I agree,
And that's significant.
absolutely. Absolutely, and that's why it went up. It went up $3,000.
Right.
Exactly. The fee that we
Exactly
have
the
to pay
figure of
region.
right, so.
And the legal fees are, a lot of times are out of our hands and we get told that we need to.
Right.
So, I mean, whatever number we put in there is there, but I mean, if we have to
It's gonna be
spend the money,
dictated by what
we have
happens.
to spend it.
That's right.
And
Which we
last
did.
year, Kevin did a lot of
He
work
did.
on the bylaws. He spent months
And
because
perhaps, since we're still working on it, he does this year, but I think there will be
less.
there'll be less in other things that we can make that up because the other budgets have been kind of level funded.
They have been.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot one way or the other.
Well, right.
My only point was is as much time as we put into subdivision regulations and we'll put in the future.
Right.
It might make sense to do it, whether it.
But to Jerry's point, Norman, if you look on the backside on the second page of here, we have planning commission advertising at 2,000, that's level funded. And last year we spent 1,400. So the $600 that potentially that may not be used. We also had a line for consulting fees of 500 and we used nothing. So right there, you've got $1,100 that if you need to, you switch over to the legal fees. And yeah, it may only get us 4 hours, but it's there's money there. And so I think it's important to look at your budget holistically and not what any given line says.
Good point. Okay. On another topic, the municipal plan and the municipal planning grant, the MPG that we were talking about applying for. The application, the work wasn't really moving along. I didn't have time. No one had really started it yet. But since we last met, the executive director of the Regional Planning Commission suggested that the town not go for a grant, that the Regional Planning Commission, because of the new dues, can find the staff to help us and save some money and not even have a contract. I think it would all come out of the dues, and that he would make sure that there were a staff assigned to that. I brought that up with the select board. They went, sounds good to them. Forget the grant and forget the 10% match and all that stuff and all the reporting requirements and all that. So is that okay with everyone? Anyone have any objections to?
Not me, if there's less work that we have to do right now to get a grant that we don't need, I'd say, can it?
Yeah, and it's a competitive grant too. I mean, you're not guaranteed of getting it. So might as well get the freebie while you have it.
Right. Take advantage of what the planning commission is offering.
Okay. Okay. All right, are we ready to dive into? We really don't have much left to do. Again, I haven't sent any of the questions from this group to Logan yet. I thought we discussed we'd finish up on reading through this and then send them one set of questions to get back to us on. And he can do that if we finish up tonight. He can do that in the next 3 weeks for our next meeting. So I think we left off. Oh, and I also ran by the select board the fact that we were considering the certificate of subdivision compliance and the 2 bonds, and they had no problem with that. They thought that was wise. So I think we left off at just before section 105,
Page.
page 8 of 11. For some reason, I checked number 10 enforcement.
Hang on, Barbara, I gotta get my.
I think maybe I checked it just because it was more work for Bill, just as a little marker there that there's another thing we're giving Bill. And he has been busy reformatting this to match our other regulations and ordinances, so that wasn't hard at all. Anyone remember anything about 10?
I have a question.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, Barbara. We're on section 105.
No, we're just
Page
just
8.
before section 105.
Oh, 10 enforcement. Okay. My
Um,
note, okay.
It says the administrative officer shall institute. And it doesn't say upon direction of the planning commission. It implies that he can do it himself. I don't think that was the intent. Unless somewhere else,
I think it is the intent.
Hmm.
I think it is the intent that he steps in where,
that he does it himself without us.
maybe we want to add language that, we're consulted or that he reports back to us.
I remember asking Bill if he was comfortable with that, and he said yes.
Well, I guess my question is, do we agree that he does this without coming to us first? That's what it implies, because it doesn't talk about any authority and nothing else that I read. No,
Okay, well, let me ask Logan about that.
Well, it seems to imply that the administrative officer has the authority to do that. It doesn't need to come to us and ask if we give him permission to do that. I mean, otherwise it would be a very cumbersome process.
well,
And an every 3-week process unless the chair was taken. Right? Phone call.
my question is, well,
Bird,
Okay, section 105.
typo in the first line.
Yeah, doesn't need to be plural,
it's that.
a plat. It should be one full-size plat. We only need
Yes,
one
yeah, I
plat.
had same thing. Right.
Yeah.
Same thing on A.
Yep, and then how many, didn't we talk about 8 copies? We are getting 8, aren't we?
The applicant shall submit 5.
We're getting
Bill had a comment about that, like he wanted it to go up at least 1. Whatever we normally get, he wanted it to go up 1.
Yeah, I guess you shared one, so we only been getting 5, I guess.
That's
Whatever
what
it
we
was,
currently
Bill
have.
wanted that increased for some reason, I
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
because we,
And there are 7 members of the commission. And even
Right.
if a substitute is here, it should be the number of members of the commission. Presuming that we'll all be, or a full complement of members will be here. So
so you're saying 9 or you're saying 7?
it should be at least 7.
At least 7.
Yeah.
And then I think Bill was asking for at least 1 additional copy is how I remember.
Well, maybe that's for him.
Yeah, it could be.
And 2 people can share if they need to.
Right.
This should be singular plat also.
Right. Okay,
That 5 should be 8.
you want
I
to go
think
with
you're right,
8?
Jerry. That's what you said.
Okay. I mean, they're not, I don't know how much these cost. They're not like Mylars, but we'll go with 8. Number 2,
Bill will hear this anyway and
yeah,
Revise it if
should
necessary.
revise it, yeah.
You hear that,
Thank you,
Bill?
Bill.
You can revise that to whatever number you feel is appropriate. Kind of like enforcement.
Okay, and so the next section is about the final, the Mylar. And I think,
I do have one question, Barbara. Are you talking about two?
mhm,
Never mind. I retract my question. I'll hang on to that for a minute. I thought you were moving on to the next page.
Bill, can you check the requirements there? And they look like they're all in place.
Yeah.
From what we currently have. Number 3 is a minor subdivision
Okay,
plat
before you
requirement.
get to number 3, I have a question about F. Says future land use district name and boundaries as shown in the most recently adopted or amended version of the Rutland Town Municipal Plan. I just wanted to know how realistic that provision was, because this is supposed to be a clearing on the plat, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that we do that currently on our plats.
Do you want me to ask Logan, is this necessary?
I was just bringing it up because it struck me as being something that we don't currently do, and I wanted to know how cumbersome that would be. Yep, so ask Logan if that works. I was just raising the question for the group.
Yeah. I had checked it too, said. Okay, three,
Barbara?
Yeah.
In number A, second line, it says, or any other any other consulting design professionals supporting the application. Isn't it more accurate to say involved in the preparation of the application? Involved in
yeah,
the prep?
yeah. Because supporting has another connotation.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't precise enough.
So what is the change being
Oh,
recommended?
switching out supporting to involved in the preparation of the application.
Okay. Any other professionals involved in the preparation?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one. Okay, number 3, minor subdivision plats. Logan has a comment. The intent is to acknowledge that depending on the minor subdivision, the scale of contours and vicinity map can vary widely in being a sufficient detail, but at no point exceeds what's required for major subdivisions. Do you think that's needed? The explanation or that clarification?
You're talking about the administrative officer, that line there?
Talking about number 3
Yep.
and
Second half of
yes,
that
yes,
paragraph?
what is, what
Administrative officer may
what-
require a vicinity map.
what he will require.
Just before that, I had a question.
Hmm.
I don't know seems like the term vicinity map, unless that's a legal term, is awfully vague.
It's,
Tell me what they mean.
it's,
And it wasn't in the definition.
it's this. It's in all of the surveys. It just shows you,
A blow up view,
yeah,
Okay,
Approximately
thank
where
you.
it is.
right? Situated among other.
But doesn't it seem like we've never asked anyone to ever change that up, down? It seems like, why would we do that now? Like, why would Bill ever have the occasion before it's actually done to ask somebody to increase it unless they come with one of these before the plat's done and we're like, that vicinity map is not big enough. I mean, it just seems like it's not necessary unless we intend to actually ever do that. We never have in the past.
I don't remember us doing it. So maybe we don't even need that part of the
Which part?
section.
The second part?
The sentence that starts with the administrative officer may
Right.
require a vicinity map.
Yeah.
Or
But is that part of the requirement? Do we already require a vicinity map?
yes.
It's required on the,
Major subdivision? No.
Go ahead.
all the items that a surveyor needs to do. Is the vicinity map there? Barbara asks it every time. But we don't ask for a specific scale.
No, and this doesn't say that, does it?
Yeah, I don't think.
It does say the specific scale.
Says
Insufficient detail, says insufficient detail to evaluate.
It's like what Jerry said. It's
Efficiently.
like changing the size of it.
Right.
Oh, scale, I see it,
Yeah.
in the last,
Not that
second
it-
last. Sentence.
I guess it could stay to it. It doesn't really matter, but
The map is of value, the vicinity map.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
so
And
maybe we should leave that option to. if
Minor
somebody-
subdivision plat shall contain all the information in section 105(2) and have contours and vicinity map in sufficient detail to evaluate. I think you, yeah. I would be in favor of, it seems redundant and unnecessary to keep that final sentence on page 8.
Then I'm having trouble hearing you.
I am simply saying that the last line on page 8 under section 3 minor subdivision plat,
Mhm.
the administrative officer to the rest is redundant and unnecessarily complex because they're gonna put a vicinity map. We've never had a question about a vicinity map that
Ever.
so I don't know that that's necessary. So as far as I'm concerned, we could recommend to Logan that be stricken. Andy, do you have a differing opinion?
Well,
about
we
that?
do have vicinity maps. We even have one on this plat right here.
And
That's
that's,
saying that the administrative officer has could say to Mark Corsell, you need to make that bigger for me. I've never seen that happen. So it just seems like a
No,
line of
no.
information.
I'll
that's
be
not
at
needed.
specific scale, so if we
Right.
take that out, yeah.
You know, why have it there if we never do it?
and he was already providing the map, the vicinity
Yeah, I
map,
see that. Yeah.
2 lines up, so.
it's interesting in the next section for the major subdivision plat requirements, vicinity map is in there. And a scale is specified, number H.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, we should have read
That's-
forward.
I did highlight that too. 400 feet to the inch.
Vicinity map doesn't have to be to a scale, it's just needs
Yeah.
Yeah.
diagram to show
Where it's
where it's
situated.
at, where
Yeah,
it's at, yeah.
And there must be a trade standard for surveyors. They're all about the same size.
Exactly, yes.
So, yeah.
And scale.
And scale.
so you could take out drawn to scale of not in that line, and
Right.
it would still be fine, a vicinity map to show the relation of the proposed subdivision to the adjacent properties. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
the specificity of 400 feet per inch isn't necessary, is that
I
what you're
think
saying?
it's more of a
Yeah.
surveyor.
Yep,
Oh, we've
And,
never had a.
and Bill, would you check those requirements, the rest of the requirements there, make sure everything's there? Thank you.
And under plat requirements, wherever they are the same for subdivision and major subdivision, wherever the same requirement exists in 2 different places in this document, it'd be nice if they were just the
cross
same.
reference.
Just, they were exactly the same rather than,
I agree with you. On that same subsection H, it says show all at the end of that line, show all the areas within 2,000 feet of any property line. So the vicinity map shall show all the areas within 2,000 feet of any property line of the proposed subdivision. Is that is that onerous?
It seems so.
2,000 feet seems like it's it's half a mile almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem,
Okay.
it's awfully large, depending on the
You
size
can't
of the
fit that-
subdivision.
You can't fit that on the size vicinity map that's on this page. This one.
well, it depends on the scale.
Right, but your vicinity map will look like this. I mean, a half a mile, really?
It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah.
Is that what it's
This
saying?
one, this one's not.
This, like,
I don't know.
tonight's, yeah, it just goes over to Route 7. East. It's not.
I don't think
Half
that's
a
a half
mile.
So
mile.
that's 5 inches, right? 5 scale inches.
He's saying 1 inch equals 2,000
Okay,
feet.
the vicinity map, right,
It's about 2 inches.
has to show within 2,000 feet of
So
the,
he's doing a
of the
mile.
property line. And your scale is 400 feet.
We just took that out.
Okay, but I was gonna say that would be, so that would be
5 inches.
5
Over here,
inches.
It's pretty far on this.
So you got
direction.
5 inches in both directions.
Right.
You're up to full
25 square
size,
inches,
you're
yeah.
up to more than what in a corner. That's for
Right.
sure.
You've got this.
Yeah.
And this, you've got this where my fingers are as. Well, how much bigger is that? Is that 5 inches?
No.
Scale, 1 inch, 2,000 feet. Yeah,
I think, and that, to me, that looks like it's about 2.5 inches, maybe 3.
yeah, that's what I
He's doing
thought.
about a mile, he claims. I personally don't know that it's a mile, but, you know,
Seems to go in only one
Yeah.
direction.
I don't, yeah. Andy,
Okay.
what do you think?
I think we just would, I don't see any reason for 2,000 feet. Do you, Howard?
We pay very little attention to the
Percent.
vicinity map
Yeah.
anyway.
there's gotta be some sort of trade standard by these guys. They always do it
Yeah,
on there.
surveying
Bill
standard.
may have-
Yeah, survey standard.
Bill may have a better idea than I don't.
Yeah, I don't know that we had
It's
to.
showing up of each adjacent property, just to be, have the property lines, and so you see the divisions of each piece of property that abuts it.
Right.
Okay, the plat recording, number 5.
So are we making a decision about the vicinity map shall show?
Well,
Are you gonna ask Logan or?
yes,
Ask
yes.
Logan?
We'll ask Logan whether we can strike those.
Okay.
So number 5, I'm thinking maybe the planning commission should retain approval of the plat recording.
Where are you, Barbara? On that
Number 5, plat recording.
Yep.
Right now it reads the administrative officer or the planning commission.
And you think it should just maybe say planning commission? It's kind of how it works anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
I agree.
So I'll double check with Logan that we can delete the administrative officer.
Right.
Hopefully all these statutory citations are good. But yeah, I guess we'll have to run this by Kevin Brown
Yep.
at some point. Number B under,
Oh, if I may. There's again confusion, but in my mind, in the second line, it says the plat has been filed. Again, it says further down plat, and then the last sentence it uses final plat. And I think it ought to be final plat all the way through, so there's no mistake.
okay.
And again, in B, it doesn't say final plat. First line says plat.
So Howard, is this the right way to phrase this? A new street or highway recording? With the when they come in with plans for a new street, it gets recorded.
Where are you now?
B, 5B.
5B.
I guess that's okay, right?
There's a little statement where you sign it, where you approve it every time.
Right. And then it gets recorded.
Why does it say select board chair?
Yes, my question also.
Because this language comes from different places and some zone, that was probably zoning language from some town, but yes. Good catch.
Yep, I had the same thing.
That should be planning commission chair, right?
Yeah.
And you scratch that other stuff about the select board. Is that what you're saying?
No, just, it's plan approved by the Rutland Town Planning Commission Chair on the date of such and such subject requirement, and it's signed by the chairperson.
Right, so you get rid of the stuff about the select.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
just change select
Yeah.
board chair to planning commission chair.
Okay. 106, standard evaluation.
One more question, Barbara, before we move on. There's a line signed. Oh, is that for the signature? Is that line?
Yeah,
for us?
yeah.
Okay, signature of the chair.
They do allow initials.
Good thing, size of the line they give you.
So the standard evaluation, this is, it almost feels like we're going back in time or evaluating what comes in, but the administrative officer and planning commission shall evaluate any application. Standards. This looks okay.
Yep, no objection from me so far. On page 9.
Okay. Moving on to 10. Still good?
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. It says at the top of page 10, the planning
Go on,
commission or administrative officer may accept the certification of independent professional experts as presumptive that the subdivision as proposed shall meet the criteria. Shouldn't we have some reference to professionals who are licensed by the state of Vermont?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Do you think independent still belongs in there?
I'm
Independent?
sorry,
What about leaving the word independent in there?
I don't know what independent means in this context.
That they have no interest in the personal interest in the project. That's
Well, it
defined later
says-
on in the paragraph. That the expert has no personal interest in the project.
The fact that it says may accept
Well, it says that
covers
here.
everything, I think.
Yep.
Says expert has no personal interest.
Right.
I think, okay, 1A modifications,
1A, 2A, okay, modification, sorry, yep. Okay.
the administrative officer or planning commission may require modification. Do we want to give that
Crazy reviewing these. I know.
to Bill? Or include him?
He's already included, isn't it? Either he
Yeah,
or the.
I
planning-
mean, he takes the first look at all this stuff and,
Well, we just
That's-
made that, we just took this case and made modifications based on the plat that we received tonight and we received last night, so my reading of it, it's, which we're already doing, so I don't.
and which he's probably already doing.
And he's
too.
probably already doing it.
Okay,
Well, I think that could also mean somebody comes in for a 5-lot subdivision. It could be changed to a 4-lot subdivision because of,
Discussion with Bill
right, well, discussion and
or with us.
going over the independent experts or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, that happens all the time with Act 250.
It happened here, we're just up the road from this. Remember, Howard, they wanted to have 6 lots and it wasn't 6 lots, or it couldn't be because it was divided by the road, so we did that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
other one.
That's a perfect example.
right.
It ended up being 5, I think.
Right, correct.
Yep.
They wanted 6 or
Right.
hope for 6.
Okay, number 2, all subdivisions shall be evaluated against the following standards. And Logan says standards vary widely from town to town. This one statute outlines the requirements for standards for subdivision bylaws. The below standards are intended to be relatively straightforward and not overly complex. The below standards also do not cover some topics that you may want to regulate. And I'm happy to send examples of standards from different towns in the region on these topics.
My note there, Barbara says, please do send us.
Okay. Did you have anything with the listed standards that you took exception to?
No. But he says the below standards are intended to relatively, I think you left a verb out, to be relatively straightforward and not overly complex. The below standards also do not cover some of the topics that you may want to regulate. And I'm happy to send examples of standards from different towns. So it's not what is there, it's what's not there. And I would like to know what other things we might want to consider that are not on the list.
Yeah, we
Because
should
you don't know what
we
you
in-
don't know.
put some kind of language in there that says this isn't the complete thing. There could be other things
Well, I don't think we can do that.
that make it unsuitable. I don't exactly know how to make the wording.
Well, that's a question, I think, for Logan, if he brings us some
Okay.
examples.
Yeah.
Jerry, what do you have?
Yeah, I think we're gonna, because I think there's some things in there that they don't make sense to me at all.
Okay.
For us.
Well, I think it's all, a lot of that stuff when it comes to the where you can build, that's regulated. When it comes to wetlands, is all regulated, but it's by the state anyway.
But the
Right.
20% slope is usually in zoning. So that's like an optional thing that we don't have, that this town doesn't have. So that's one example of something that probably should go. I think our town plan says we ask that there not be development on slopes over 20% for safety reasons, like emergency vehicles getting through.
Well, we can have a discussion, yep.
We need to, and Bill can help us with some of this
Yep.
too. But okay, ask Logan for more examples. So it just, utilities on page 11.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Hang on one second.
Whoa.
On two things under roads puzzle me. Well, I think need clarification. It talks about standards A76
Yep.
and B71, but it doesn't tell where they're found.
Right. I had the same question, Norman.
Sure,
So
I'm sure you did.
Logan can,
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's just tinkering, but we have to can't hold them to standards that we don't
Right.
tell them where they are.
Mm-hmm. Anything else there, Norm?
Yeah, in D4, road names shall be approved by the Rutland Town Select Board. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, just wasn't sure. Said road name signs shall be submitted by the subdivider. Is that correct? Also, is that
it
already
is.
provided? In our
Shall be installed.
installed, yes.
Let's ask Bill.
Back to road names with the select board, the 911 system is very involved with road names. And any new road name that comes up, they take a look at the whole surrounding area to see if there's any conflict of names that could be confusing. So this is the select board does, they
Approves
can
it,
pick out a road name, but 911 is what controls. it.
Right, and I've been at meetings where when they get a proposal for a name, especially for like a private road, they turn to Bill and say, have you done the E911 check on that? Have you run it by them
Yeah.
for any?
Because if they don't go with the 911 and there's a tragedy or something along the road, the town could be liable for it.
Right,
Right.
right.
Because it's, it's like we have Avenue A and city and town, Avenue B and a city and town, all these things. It just gets, I was 911 coordinator for a number of years and it gets mind boggling.
Well, the numbering also, like in Main Street, South Main Street, it stops and starts up again.
North and
It
south.
goes to
Yeah.
north.
When you go
It
to the
pushes-
town,
yeah.
when you go into the town.
No,
From the town to
also,
the city you're talking about or what?
no, from the town to the town, when you cross, Route 4 coming north on 7. You have North Main and South Main and the numbering changes.
Okay. Well, the city numbering is a mess. It's something
That's what
that,
you're referring to, right?
that they can't even agree to how to straighten it out. The city numbering is not, is a 911 problem. I can tell you that.
I thought it doesn't matter.
We're almost
It's the
done
ci-
here.
I'm thinking about the city. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the city. does.
Yeah. Okay, page 11 of 11.
Okay, Barbara, take us home. We got 2 minutes.
It's not a ball game tonight.
Tomorrow night.
National
Uh,
holiday.
There's a football game tonight. What are you talking
That's
about?
right. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Oh.
Amazon
okay.
Prime.
Utilities. Looks okay.
You okay with utilities?
This last sentence in one is very confusing.
Where are you, Norman?
At the top of page 11.
Yep.
There's small I.
Yep.
The applicant shall coordinate subdivision design with the utility companies to ensure adequate and suitable area for installation, etc. This includes conformance with utility easements of sufficient width then it says shall be provided to serve the proposed subdivision. I think if we took out the word shall be provided,
Yeah,
it reads better.
it does. Okay, F, water and wastewater. The applicant provides state permits, yes. The administrative officer or planning commission requiring obtaining state permits for adequate wastewater disposal and water. What do we? Shall be demonstrated
Either by
by.
the administrative officer of planning commission requiring obtaining state permits for adequate wastewater disposal. and water.
So I think we either need requiring or obtaining, but not both, right?
Yes, correct.
Probably obtaining is the better word here.
So officer of planning commission, no, shall be evidenced by. It's not the administrative officer or planning commission obtaining the state permits. Requiring the state permits.
Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah, we don't
okay,
have-
Because you're not gonna obtain them. That's up to the applicant to obtain.
Right, so obtaining those,
So requiring those,
requiring stays.
requiring stays and obtaining goes. Yes, right. Okay, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Take out
It shouldn't be requires and not requiring,
Hmm.
obtaining, that's just weird.
The
It is-
applicant provides.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
Administrative
evidence
officer,
either
planning
by
commission
the
requiring
planning
state permits.
requiring,
So,
Take
it's
out the word-
actually governed by the preposition at the end of F. So by takes a gerund. In the first sentence, it's wrong. It says the applicant providing state permits.
it should say.
It should say providing, right? Jerry's right, that there's gotta be consistency. The first one says provides, but it should be providing, because it's not an
Evidenced
independent
by,
verb,
right.
it's by doing
So that
something.
would be the case in 3 too.
So, right, by providing or requiring or providing. Yep,
Yeah,
good
okay.
catch there, Jerry.
Gerunds, oh gosh, I don't remember those at all.
Jaren,
And
We can take that offline.
it is, but you're right. Hey, I'm confirming. That's a Jaren too.
Okay,
In
G, yeah,
paragraph
It's a first
3,
person.
it says the applicant provides written certification by whom? that the proposed subdivision will not require wastewater disposal.
State must be, right?
It must be.
No, it's themselves.
He can't do it. I mean, the applicant can't do it.
Yeah, the applicant's doing that, the way I read it.
Provides it, but
The
doesn't.
applicant's coming in and stating that they've checked that they don't require us to disposal or adequate water supply.
So they're attesting, basically.
They're
They're
attesting to
attesting
the
their-
fact that they're not required to have it.
Well, is that, I don't know what this means, I guess. Does he provide? Does the applicant certify himself, herself, that,
How
Subdivision
about
will-
confirmation, provides written confirmation that the proposed
Yeah,
subdivision?
that takes
Mhm.
away certification. That's
Is that
all.
better?
from whom?
I think so.
From whom?
From the
From
applicant.
themselves.
They're doing it themselves and they're saying that they're
That's it.
being held, that they
They've
will be
checked on
held
it
liable.
and they know they don't need it.
Say I'm building a barn, I don't need wastewater.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a good example.
Well,
That's
that's
not bad. You call
Yeah.
the state and you ask and they say you don't need it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you're attesting to that.
Yeah,
right. So written confirmation, not a certification, because it
Right.
sounds like you're asking for some type of permit.
It says certification, and that's okay, but there has to be some basis for it. And the fact that somebody comes in and says, I certify without any basis doesn't tell us anything.
But we're changing it to
How about
confirmation.
confirmation?
Confirmation.
I think it's designed to just show that they've gone through the process and they're now attesting to that.
Maybe check with Logan. Just,
Okay.
it's just not clear.
Um, G. I think there's some
Mm.
there's some new things in here, especially with the major subdivisions, may be required to provide pedestrian and bicycle access. Bike paths. Screening. We don't have that now, do we? And then there's like 5 where it's avoiding undue impacts to critical wildlife habitat and natural resources.
It's all done. Well,
Mhm.
that, the big, you remember a study was done at Dean Davis and Rod Chaffee's development about wildlife corridors.
Right, for Act
Big study,
250.
but that was Act 250.
Yeah.
250, yeah.
And this would be for all major subdivisions. So that's anything over 5.
Is there any way we could get a 20 lot subdivision that doesn't go through Act 250?
We can.
That'd
Be
be over-
virtually impossible, wouldn't it?
Be almost
No, I-
impossible unless it was less than 9 acres, right? Isn't it? Yeah, 9 acres.
Right now, but there's,
No,
So we're a
no,
1
an
acre
acre.
town.
Yeah, there's no way anyway.
So it's
You
impossible.
can't put 20 lots in 1
Right.
acre. So that would all be state anyway, through Act 250, the way we set now.
So
So-
let's just leave it in there and just let it,
And maybe ask Logan, does
Yeah.
this really apply?
Right,
well, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It isn't gonna matter, so,
right.
You're talking about G only, right?
yes.
Or
I think
H?
H.
Oh, H, yeah.
Tw- 20,
Oh, okay.
no,
maybe
20
both.
lots are signaled in G, public
There they
recreation.
are. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
20 lots or more. It can't happen
right,
the way,
the way we set now.
right.
Right.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the stuff below that.
And the stuff below it, we're thinking just leave it in. There was one.
for major subdivisions where necessary in the judgment of the planning commission. So it's, we have the option. The applicant may be required to provide for pedestrian and bicycle access within the subdivision, provide screening of development to increase privacy, limit the number of access points onto public highways, provide documentation from fire, emergency, and or school authorities, demonstrating adequate capacity to serve the proposed subdivision, locate and configure subdivision boundaries, lots, building sites, and utility corridors to avoid undue impacts, take action to ensure that the proposed subdivision of land take action to ensure that the proposed subdivision of land
It seems,
conforms to
Yeah.
any requirements of these regulations.
seems logical to do the same thing. In the event that a major subdivision in Rutland Town would not be under Act 250, it lets us have some authority in
Yeah.
case that would ever fit those
Yeah.
two criteria.
Act 250 could change
Right.
and we could pick up more acreage.
So leave it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
Gives us
like it.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't have to use it, we don't have to use
It's
it.
an option.
It's a maybe required
Right.
anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just when somebody comes to us and we're saying, whoa, 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 hang on a second. You got a lot going on here.
Right.
Kinda like other things we've witnessed, but,
No, six makes sense because
That's all.
it gives us broad authority to, but only based on our internal regulations
In the town
the
plan.
town plan, right,
in the town plan.
capital budget and program and all other municipal
Yeah,
ordinances.
okay.
I think it's just a good way of just reviewing that we haven't overlooked something.
Ah,
Okay,
we made it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get Logan to respond to a lot of things. But we're making progress.
very good.
Yeah. The minutes from October 2nd. Oh, anybody have any announcements? Sorry, skipped over that.
Announcements.
Okay, the minutes for October 2nd.
Motion to approve the minutes from October 2nd.
Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain, I was not here.
abstain.
Okay,
I wasn't here.
2,
so
4, 5. We are good.
we're good, we're golden.
5 of
Okay,
us were here.
the minutes have been approved. We're
What do we
doing
do with
better,
these?
we're doing better
Leave
these
them?
days.
Is that what we usually do? Leave them?
I think so. We leave these, Barbara?
I'm taking this one home.
I don't know what he
You're
does
taking
with them, but
Well, my
yeah.
wife wanted to see this. She get it, but you were telling me. We worked for it.
Thank you, we're adjourned.
I haven't seen it.
Let me end the meeting, end meeting.